morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. Dale Illustrates here, everybody.
Good morning, Stephen. And boy, oh boy, did the weekend bring into focus, even when you think the Valley's going to have nice things.
Oh, did something happen locally?
They can't have nice things.
What are you talking about? I'm still on that hockey high right now. I don't know anything else. Just
Well, no, hey, the country, fine. The Valley, no.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Just choose to ignore it. Nothing bad's gonna stick to me.
How do things happen to Valley athletes when they're not even competing? How do you break a foot, ankle, whatever? You break a hand. Come on, Steven.
Oh, it's even worse. You show up to spring training and your back hurts.
Is there a better term than what I came up with a year ago? The Valley can't have nice things.
It's gotten to the point of ridiculousness.
Merrill Kelly is going for evaluation today.
Yeah, he's having imaging done.
Back.
Yeah, upper back.
Not good for a pitcher.
It's even worse when they say things like, it moves. Some days it feels good, some days it doesn't when I don't do anything. That's not good, folks. I'm not saying it's going to be season ending, but that ain't good. That ain't good, man.
It's the Valley, Steve.
No, that ain't good. If he was just like, hey, it's just sore, I've been throwing a lot, whatever. All right, get sore, a couple days later, you're good. No. He's been babying it since he got here. That ain't good, folks.
I didn't do a deep dive into it. We had a starting quarterback at ASU get hurt during a bye week, and Dylan Brooks during the All-Star break. He didn't play in the All-Star game, did he?
No. Well, no, it happened. The broken hand happened during the game.
What game?
The game the other night. Friday's game.
They played Saturday.
Yeah, he had the suspension.
Yeah.
And Friday's game, he hurt his hand.
They didn't play Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Whenever this game was this weekend. Saturday night, hurt his hand during the game. Broke his left hand. Somebody didn't watch the game.
I didn't. I actually forgot I was on.
Yeah, no, he did it during the game. He was walking around. He was going like this a lot. And then he checked himself out, went to the locker room. Here's the best part about that. 2 overtime game. Literally, you're like, oh, whew, they won it. I mean, I thought they were going to split this one back-to-back anyway because it's a back-to-back.
Yeah.
But I know they win that one. Literally, the game ends. Bloop. I turn my head to do something. I turn back on my Twitter machine. Dylan Brooks is out with the broken hand. Like, you couldn't let us have 5 minutes of excitement on that win before you break the news to us? And then Jordan Goodwin's hurt on top of it. Grayson Allen, got to baby that knee a little bit. Oh. Colin Gillespie was laying on the ground last night. Yeah, Booker. Yeah. What in the world's happening? Dale.
Well, hey,
I blame you.
And maybe the 10th seed's a welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that coming up here. I have the standings. They're not. Here's the thing: they're not going to, unless it just completely falls out from underneath them, which I don't think it's going to. They'll beat the teams they're supposed to beat if they play them not on back-to-backs. I'm not worried about that. They're not going to beat the teams that they're not, that are better than them. They're not going to beat them. Like Celtics, Lakers coming up might be a little bit hard of a schedule to deal with and stuff like that, So, but why do you always want to start negative?
Again, I'd like to start negative and work to positive, but if you want to go hockey,
no, I'm not even going to talk hockey yet.
We got USA hockey. The other thing I tuned into for about 3 minutes.
Did you get up in the morning yesterday morning at 6 a.m. to watch the hockey game?
I watched it in my dreams. I did see the ending, and I hear all the complaining about the 3-on-3. Obviously, we can get into that.
Yeah, I'm not.
I did last night. I was flipping through stuff, just looking for something to watch after the Suns debacle. 70 points, whatever. There's some wrestling thing on.
What?
You didn't see it?
No. But I saw
it must have been a rerun.
They were replaying. Royal Rumble.
Okay, because there were like 8 dudes laying in the ring.
Yeah. So they were replaying Royal Rumble. Yeah. You should have watched it. It would have been fun. Would have been fun.
I
for you.
did. I watched 2 minutes of it.
You should have watched more than that.
Like I can't. I looked around to make sure nobody was watching me watching Conan.
Were you at your house?
Yes.
Yeah, Dale's closing the blinds.
Yes. People looking in from the street.
But you came in halfway through if 8 dudes were just laying around on the inside.
Yeah. And then I watched it for about 3 minutes and saw some more nonsense. I said, this is what Steve gets so excited about.
What's more fun? The Suns getting blown out like they did last night, or the wrestling? Let's be honest about it. You'd rather watch the wrestling.
I'd rather have.
I would have rather watched.
I'd
the
rather
replay.
have John's eye surgery than.
I would have rather watched the replay of the of Royal Rumble than watch anything regarding Suns.
Oh goodness!
That's the hard part about Sunday was I put it out on Twitter after that hockey game. Like it's 9 a.m. What the heck else are we supposed to do today?
Right.
That was a nail biter. That was exciting. That was a nail biter, and it was great to see on that. But before we get to all that, Dale.
Okay.
I guess you might call this negative on my perspective on this. But yesterday in the Genesis Open, golf, we're going to talk here at the beginning, because I think it kind of puts the perspective of the way athletes today look at things. It's all about money. It's not about winning. It's how much money can I make and all of that stuff out there. And Rory does a good job of putting that in perspective for us. If you missed it, Rory's struggled all day on putting. Just putts ringing out. Just would have ran away with the tournament if he could hit a putt. If he could hit a putt all day long. Well, it comes up to 18th hole, and he ends up finished tied for second, but he sinks a long putt. That's a beautiful putt to make and everything. So I'll show you that first here. Here's Rory's putt. Not to win it. He finishes tied second. But the excitement here is he finally makes it.
But real quick, because I know you can make fun of him and the money they made on that putt, but it did get him in one stroke, and then after the guy just slipped my mind, the winner.
Yep. Nobody knows who won that.
He had a 2-putt, and he left his first putt about 4 feet short.
Jacob Bridgman.
Yes, and so at least put a little pressure on. But go ahead.
It did. So here's Rory making this putt on 18. And ultimately finishing tied second, but here's Rory's putt.
Put a little pressure on Bridgman to see one go in. Run it out. Run it out! Incredible.
Rory's like, go figure. The last hole of the tournament, I finally make one.
By the way, me and Tiger's a year older than I am. He just turned 50. I mean, God, it's just amazing how we look alike. Bodies, everything. He probably works out. I just wake up and look like that.
Well, he's got a lot more physical ailments than you do.
Yeah, first of all, I mean, just, stand there at the top of the hill. I do that a lot. I stand at the top of the hill with my hands on my hips while I'm just looking off to something.
Have you ever been chased?
My shirt's just...
You ever been chased by a 7-iron?
No, because I'm not into Denny's waitresses. Not my thing. Not my thing. But I stand on top of hills too and just let my shirt flap in the wind, show off my abs. So me and Tiger have the same thing in common here. It was nice to see another 50-year-old taking care of himself like I take care of myself.
Brooke looked at that and goes, "Boy, that looks a lot like your partner."
Yes. Thank you, Brooke, for seeing it. It was amazing. I got texts all the time. You were at the Genesis Open? Like, no. It was Tiger. Doppelganger. Tiger. But in all seriousness, he makes that putt, finishes for second. And I don't have the clip of him saying it because I couldn't find it. I heard it. I saw it afterwards, and I couldn't find it later on. I didn't put a lot of effort into finding it. But what he did was by making that putt, he makes an extra $600,000 for the weekend. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you make. You make an extra $600,000. You're happy about that, right? On top of what you're already winning.
No matter how much money you've made.
Afterwards, a reporter asked him, it was a relief in making that putt. Finally, at 18, you've struggled all day long. Was there relief in making that? His response, yeah, what'd I make? An extra $400,000 or $500,000 on that? Yeah, I'll be all right. If that doesn't sum up today's professional athletes, I don't know what does. From NBA players, I got my contract. I'm going to sit on the bench as much as possible. Back to back. What? Oh, my God. I breathed yesterday. I gotta take some time off. Broke a sweat yesterday. All of that stuff. Today's professional. If that doesn't sum up today's profession, and it took a golfer to sum up professional athletes today. Oh, I'll get out of bed for that. I'll get out of bed for that. Oh, does it suck you didn't win the tournament? Nah. I want an extra $600K on top of everything. I'm good. Good to go. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight in my Italian sheets that were handcrafted by slaves.
Well, it's always interesting because I have heard other golfers talk about the fact that why do you enter this tournament? It's a long hitters tournament and whatever. And
like guys that the course is not set up for
No.
them, and they still enter, and it's like, why?
and so why do you enter this tournament? And they say, well, they pay pretty good money for 20th place
Yes.
too, and in this particular tournament, now it was a signature event,
Yes.
so the payouts were a little higher.
They had to pay. They have to play. They can only miss, I think it's one signature tournament all year.
There's
And-
4.
No, I meant you can only miss one.
Oh yeah,
I
if
think.
you're one of the top 50
Yeah,
guys.
but also it's Tigers tournament, so there's more cachet to it
Yep.
than just a normal tournament out there as well. But I get it. But it's just to be so blatantly out front about it it just hit me like, oh, that is literally the poster professional athletes today.
Well, and the thing that because professional golf has gotten so slow, because every shot is important. One shot can be the difference in $500,000.
Yeah, I get it.
But the thing is, it's now carried over to public golf, and people who aren't paying for $500,000.
I'm going to win $20 in my men's club if I make this.
And so the pace is slowed down, but.
Yeah.
It was to me, fascinating tournament. I turned it off. I went and did things, came back, and all of a sudden, Bridgman he had like a 7-stroke lead going into yesterday.
Oh, he was melting down yesterday.
And then it started. Trying to get your first win.
Yeah.
And
It got into his head a little bit.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he struggled. He's flat out struggled down the stretch. There's no doubt about it. But that's part of the fun of that type of
Yes.
stuff. Is a guy struggling out there to get the win at the end of it, and especially with who's coming up behind you.
Yep.
You can't tell me that he's not like, is that Rory? Is that Rory coming up behind me? Big shadow that way. So no, I just wanted to point that out today.
Yeah.
Some people would call me being negative on that, but I thought literally when I heard it and I saw it, I was like, oh my God, is that not just sum up? And then that was on top of the hockey game where these guys make good money playing NHL hockey. They go over there for basically nothing. Pride of country, pride of beating the Canadians, all of that stuff. Even the Canadians, pride of beating the U.S. The money wasn't a factor. So it was an interesting dichotomy that was going on yesterday, throughout the sports day. On just who's looking at it on the money side, who's doing it for love of country, and just being able to beat your foe. That 46 years since you last won a gold medal, and they were the people that keep you out of it, the Canadians. And then you go from that to, okay, I made $500,000 extra, whatever. It's all good to me. Now my private jet's gonna get premium fuel today.
I don't have to go by Circle K to fill up in gas.
Interesting stat though, since you're a big golfer. To me, this means nothing, but when stats like this come out, I pay attention to. What kind of putter do you use, Dale?
I use a PXG putter.
Well, talk about marketing and branding. They're the best clubs out there. Can't hit the ball wrong with them.
Period. Boom.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what everybody's like. Everybody has a PXG shot. They're literally like CrossFitters, EV drivers, and everything. They tell you how great their clubs are. PXG's this. PXG's that. In all seriousness, putters used to win the PGA Tour so far here in 2026.
Okay.
Sony, TaylorMade Spider. Amex, TaylorMade Spider. Phoenix, TaylorMade Spider. Tory, Phantom T5 snuck in there. Pebble, TaylorMade Spider. Riviera, TaylorMade Spider.
Is there something that's a...
Go pick yourself up a TaylorMade Spider, folks. You will automatically start putting better. Apparently, is the way to go.
No matter how much it costs, because he made $4 million yesterday.
Do you think Torrey shows up with the spider coming up next
Wow.
tournament? Isn't that amazing? When stats like that come out, it just kind of makes you go, wait, what? Now, it could just be as simple as TaylorMade just has the best golfers in the world, signed up with them or
Right.
whatever. But not the best golfers in the world have won a lot of, like yesterday. Richmond's not one of the best golfers in the world, folks.
He's going to be.
He's going to get there probably, but he's not there yet. But yeah, I find those types of stats interesting. And how many people, be interesting to see how many people at least experiment with a TaylorMade spider.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's got one, but I don't even know. Now that you're saying it, I'm trying to remember what it looked like.
I got a picture of it here,
Yeah.
but it's just your stand. It looks like every other big bottom, putter, the big bottom, so the weights equal distance as you swing it.
Boy.
Leans to the right a little bit. I mean, not like those PXGs, those. Best clubs in the world. You pay for them to be the best too, but PXG does crack me up a little bit with how everybody's so proud of them. They're like TaylorMade Pro V1s. What do you play with? Pro V1s. Pro V1. Oh, are your Pro V1s the ones I keep finding lost on the course and I just collect them while you buy them? I get them for free. Is that what's happening right now? Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for losing all your Pro V1s because I got 100 of them now. Thank you.
Wow. First of all, I know you're not looking for balls.
What are you talking about? Because I hit them right down the middle.
All right. How about them Bears moving to Indiana?
That's a cluster. That's a cluster right there, man. I was reading about that this weekend. And
No.
the McCaskies are mad at their president because he did that press conference to go to Indiana after they just had a meeting with Illinois. Basically, all they're asking, this is what's amazing. The Bears said, we will pay for we bought the land in Arlington Heights. We will pay for the whole stadium. We will pay for everything. All we need from you is the infrastructure, roads, piping, etc. Which, by the way, is basically standard contracts when it comes to companies and corporations moving in and building big stuff.
Yeah, $1 billion company. You're gonna give them a few perks.
Yes, and all they're asking for is roads and that stuff be put
I mean,
in.
they're not asking
by
to
the
kick
city.
in about
Nothing.
$50 million.
$0.
Okay. So what's
City of Chicago, City of Chicago, and which is Arlington Heights now, and the state of Illinois. Nope. And Hammond, Indiana is like, we'll give you everything. We will give you whatever you want. The building is yours.
Right.
We don't want anything to do with it. Build it. Come and build it here. And then, so they had a big meeting, I guess, the Bears and the government, and they supposedly shook hands and everything was happy. And then the Bears put out the statement they're moving to Hammond the next day, and it just embarrassed the politicians, which I'm not too sad of, and everything. But now the McCaskies are like, you got to ruin this Arlington Heights because they want to go to Arlington Heights.
Yeah,
It's a
that'd be perfect.
negotiation tactic here for Hammond, Indiana. It's all it is. They're going to end up in Arlington Heights, Dale. But like even to the point where there's $150-something million of debt on Soldier Field. So when they renovated it, they put the debt onto it. Doesn't mean the Bears have to pay it. It means you pay, if you go visit the stadium for any reason, you pay a large tax on it to repay the cost of redoing it. The Bears did have to pay at one time like $130 million of the renovation. Well, they've already paid that off. So there's $154 million left on it as of right now. And the city of Chicago was like, well, you got to pay us that $154 million. And the Bears owe nothing on this. And the Bears went, we're moving, so we'll pay $25 million to it so you're not stuck with the whole amount. And the government went, no, you have to pay all $154 million of it. And the Bears are like, we don't owe you anything. Just how stupid can you be as politicians?
You
That's all I
want
gotta
to
say.
alienate your flagship franchise,
Yeah.
who wants to stay there.
Yes.
You know, it's one thing if the Bears are trying like hell to get out.
Yeah. They even bought a defunct horse racing place that nothing's happening at. It's just this gross old place. They bought the land there to revitalize it with a new
Yeah.
stadium. And even then, Illinois and Chicago's like, nah, we'd rather have an old dilapidated building there that nobody uses. Thank you, though. I don't get it. I'm rooting for him to move to Hammond because that'll just show the
Oh, I would.
that'll
I
just
kinda
show the
like
deal.
It, but
It's 20 miles south, but it is amazing how this stuff gets tied up into nonsense and everything
well, I told you last week
as well.
I was of age when the Giants and the Jets moved out to New Jersey, and that was a huge hullabaloo.
Yeah.
How can that's not even New York. You're New York teams. You're the New York Giants. How can you play in Jersey? Hey, you cross over a bridge.
It's literally
It's right
across
there.
the bridge. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like it's not like the New Jersey Devils in hockey. They move like 50 miles outside
Okay,
of that area.
Yeah.
So when the New Jersey Devils built there, they had a hard. It's kind of like when the Coyotes went to Glendale. People just wouldn't show up because you can't go that far in that traffic on a Tuesday night to watch hockey.
Right. Well, and once again, understand, if this was the Cubs or the White Sox or the Bulls, and you're talking 40 or 80 regular season games,
Yes.
that's one thing.
But here's the problem. You're seeing this in Kansas City right now. The football team moves, you're going to see other sports franchises wanting to move and build a new stadium and stuff like that, right? Because the Chiefs are moving to Olathe, Kansas. What's going to happen is now the Royals are like, oh, we need to move someplace to get a better deal.
But
Stuff like
here's
that.
what.
So the Bulls will do it, which means the Blackhawks will have to do it.
But see, it doesn't make any sense to me because just look at the local part here.
Yeah.
When the Cardinals are good, that stadium's full. People don't bitch about a 30-minute drive on a Sunday.
Because it's a Sunday.
Yes, and it's 8 of them.
Yeah, you know when I bitch driving out there? Thursday and Monday night.
Yeah,
games.
you get one of those maybe.
Yes, and it's annoying.
Yeah, you get one of those
Yes,
maybe.
but because it's a Sunday, it's not a big deal.
Right, but
When I had Coyotes tickets,
it's completely
it
different.
sucked driving out there on a Tuesday night to watch a team, especially when they were bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference on that, absolutely. So, but I think that's the bigger thing here is the Bears move from Soldier Field into a new stadium away from downtown. I'm just telling you, United Center's all of a sudden going to start looking a little old. Can we get a better deal someplace else? That's the bigger threat from that side of it. But it's all fascinating stuff over the weekend. Of course, Olympics this weekend. Dale, did you catch in the Olympics? First of all, Canadian curling guys. You won gold medal in a sport that nobody cares about except for you and like Sweden. We have fun with it here in America because it's novelty and stuff like that. You got caught cheating, and then to win the gold and then be like, oh, everybody complaining about us can cry their tears away. Settle down. Go back to your job at Burger King up there in Canada today and go curling on the side again. Nobody needs your nonsense, Tiger. Enjoy your gold medal. Enjoy whatever. Go back to DoorDash or whatever you do up there in Canada as a curler. And enjoy your life in Canada because you have to go back to Canada. That's all I got to say. You pompous A-hat.
Wow.
Did you see that? That guy was like just bragging galore on Saturday after they won gold. By the way, I'm not bashing Burger King workers and DoorDashers and stuff like that. I'm just saying the guy has no I'm talking that specific guy has no prospects.
You bashed everybody that you know in that little diatribe.
I appreciate DoorDash drivers.
But I will tell you this.
They're God's gift to us here as Americans.
Really, the only medal ceremony I watched was the hockey ceremony.
You watched the medal one, too?
Yeah.
I had to turn it off.
Yeah. But I didn't watch it from 6:15 on. I kind of watched the end.
You watched the actual medal? I had to turn it off because of the Gaudreau. They took his family out there,
Yeah.
and I was like, no. Not
Very
because it was
cool.
bad or whatever. It's just, it's 9 o'clock.
Very
in the morning.
cool.
I'll watch the highlights later on that. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
You don't want to get emotional 9 o'clock in the
That's a
morning?
tough story. That's a tough
Yeah.
story at 9 o'clock in the morning to deal with and stuff like that. But but the Canadian curler guy,
You're not gonna let it go.
pompous A-hat that nobody knows your name, Tiger. People in Canada have already forgotten who you are. Acting like, oh, everybody's mad at us. Get out of here, you clown. Disgusting, Dale. Imagine being so proud on doing something that you were supposed to do, and you cheated doing it. You're supposed to be the best at it. Canadian men's curling is supposed to be the best. And you had to cheat?
It's a little finger on the dang 20-pound cube. Come on, Steve.
That dude.
Come on.
That dude can go F himself.
Wow.
Hope he's happy wearing his 17 jackets today as he's back in Canada going, I won the gold. And everybody's going, sit down, clown. Finish pumping my gas. It's cold out here. Can we get the gas going? Pumping a little quicker, sir? He's like, but I want gold in curling. Can you ring out my ho-hos, please?
Yeah, he's not going to train for the next 6 weeks. Take some time off.
Yeah, he's got to recover.
Wow.
My last general thing I got for you before we get into like actual sports here, Dale, is I have a problem with this. Like when the Patriots, when he was coaching the Titans, Mike Vrabel, and the Patriots retired his jersey. And he's the opposing team's coach. And they retire your jersey. They bring you up there. So, like, you're part of the enemy, right? You got another team out there. Lakers yesterday honored Pat Riley. They unveiled a bronze statue of Pat Riley outside their arena on Sunday.
Okay.
Pat Riley. I get it. He was a big part of the Lakers. But right now, he's in charge of the Miami Heat for, 30 years now, it feels like, and everything. I have a problem with honoring people that are your quote-unquote opponents right now. Wait till he retires. Then you can do it when he's done with the Magic, or with the Heat. And, do it that way. Am I wrong in this? It bothers the crap out of me that you do this. Lakers fans cheer. First of all, how many years has it been since he's been with the Lakers? It's new ownership, by the way, at the Lakers, too.
Right.
And now you're just putting a statue up? That should have been done years ago if you're going to do it. So now you're just placating. You're like, please, Heat, don't beat us. Don't beat us anymore. Hey, Pat Riley, can you take it easy on us? I have a problem with it, Dale. Am I crazy that I have a problem with it?
If it was a player, I would have a harder time with a coach, but a president, general manager, I think you're one step removed from what's happening on the court.
Okay, I can see that perspective. But if he was so great, why isn't he working for the Lakers? If you think that highly of him, why isn't he working for the Lakers?
Because he had his time here.
They could have hired him as president.
I'm not even sure who they had at the point that it was.
Jerry West, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have a problem with honoring people on the opposing teams in the moment. Not good. He's older. My favorite part of the speech, though, because I did watch it, was he had Kareem behind him, and Kareem was old when he retired, but Kareem was behind him, and look, just Kareem, buddy, I know you're old, man. Sad to see. I'll put it that way. And then you got all these players behind him and whatever, and only one player had a tie on. And he's like, you guys can't even wear ties when you come here? And he's all, $5,000 fines for everybody. And I was like, that is Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Even now with the Heat, it's the Heat culture. He runs, even when LeBron was there, he runs it his way. And these are the standards. These are the standards we do. And in today's day and age, for that to continue to work for Pat Riley is kind of an amazing thing. He probably loses big-name free agents and stuff like that because of that attitude, but he makes it work with what he gets and stuff like that. But I did find that funny, how he's like, only one of you wore a tie here? That's our standard.
All I've read and heard and seen about things about him was that, he's a no-nonsense guy. He's got a way to do things, and if he's gonna last longer than you. Word on the street that LeBron didn't like the coach and met with Pat, and Pat said, I don't care.
My favorite story of the time when LeBron was there was after a game. LeBron James goes to Dwayne Wade, who was the team back then.
Yeah.
And he goes to Dwayne Wade and he says, hey, he goes, if they're in some city, and he goes, hey, let's stay here and let's go out tonight. And then I'll have a private plane and we'll meet the team in the morning at the hotel. And Dwayne Wade's like, oh, no, you got to ask the team about that.
Right.
So LeBron goes and asks the team, and they're like, no, get on that plane. And next thing you know, he's on the plane.
Yeah.
And, he's used to Cleveland where he could do whatever he wanted and stuff like that. And it's like, nope, we don't care who you are. Get on that plane. We don't do that here. And even to the point where Dwayne Wade was like, you get that cleared, I'm on board. But good luck to you, buddy. So that was kind of fun to see. And then finally, just on the summary of the weekend, Suns fan last night, if you missed this, some good things that did happen on the court last night. He won the half-court shot. First fan to make a half-court shot in 15 years is what they think. That is true.
Really?
$10,000 he earned last night. And then he was cool as a cucumber after he hit it. The Suns, the PA guys, the guys that, do the stuff in between and hype up the crowd, they were jumping around, the gorillas jumping around. He's just standing there.
I
knew he was
going
to do it.
I knew I was going to make
He
it.
knew he was going to swish that bad boy right there. So, yeah. So there goes. That was fun to watch last night. I think that was the only positive last night.
You make the half-court shot.
10,000, 10 great. Even afterwards, like I think it was Channel 10. Somebody did an interview with him. And they put it out on social media. I don't remember what. But even then, like you think you'd be smiling. I won 10 grand. He's just like, yeah, I won free throw contests in my day, and I developed a half court shot, and I was pretty confident I could make it. And it's just like no excitement whatsoever in his voice.
So is he Mini Steve?
Yeah, because I would do this.
You say, come on, hey, act like you've been there.
I'd be like,
before.
challenge me. Do you want me? Can we try a 3/4 shot next time? Challenge me a little bit. Challenge me a little bit, Ishbia. This half court nonsense. I do this in my sleep.
Was his foot behind the line?
I didn't pay attention. Well, there's going to be something that nullifies
Yeah.
it. And then the fans are going to have to all get in an uproar to defend him, and then they'll eventually cave. The Suns are doing the right thing and just paying it out regardless.
Yeah.
That's a rounding error for the Suns this year. So let's take our break here, come back. Let's get into it. We got to talk some serious stuff here as well. Dale, before we go to break here, I want to mention it because there's no way to transition out of this at all. Of course, Rondale Moore over the weekend, second-round draft pick for the Cardinals, left us, there in his home in Indiana and everything. And it just all I got to say on that is, one, is very sad, obviously, young kid, bright future. But the NFL's got to figure something out. There's multiple times this is happening now, and you got to figure this out. Come on back, folks, the main event. And we're back here. Main events on a Monday after a busy sports weekend out there. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670. No matter when you're listening or watching us, whether it's live right now, 8 to 10 here at Robat TV, on demand later on at Robat TV, of course, on our production YouTube page, or if you're listening to us on the free podcast system, your favorite podcast system, If you get a little bug in your ear and you want to call us stupid or whatever, just send the text in 623-252-6670. Or, of course, hit us up at TME Sports Show as well on X and get your thoughts in there. We love the participation as well from that perspective. Then, the ups and downs, but Kurt Signitti signed a new contract with Indiana, $13 million per season through 2033. Indiana, folks, $13 million per season. Only 2 coaches make more money than him on an annual basis. Name them, Dale.
Let's see here. Only 2.
I'll tell you this. One changed schools this year, and one's been at his school for a while and has a couple national championships.
Well, I would think Day.
No. I think he's at $10 million.
Poor thing.
If I remember right. He might be at 12 now. But yeah, he's not at
Poor
13.
thing.
I know.
Change schools this year after the season?
During the playoff run. Hint, hint.
Oh, I want to say Monty Kiffin.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is one of them, yep.
Okay.
And the other one's been at his school for a long time, couple
Not
national
Dabo.
championship. Yeah.
Not Dabo?
No. That's why I knew you'd go with that. No, not Dabo. Dabo, I think, is at 10 again. In that, I didn't look them up, but I think they're in that range.
Okay.
No, Kirby Smart.
Oh.
I think Kirby's at 12.
You haven't heard from the SEC in so long, you kind of forget about him. You know what I'm saying, Steve?
This is my point, though. Indiana has a head coach making about as much as some SEC school coaches. Isn't that amazing?
That's very, very good.
Hopefully they can sustain that. I mean, one day they're going to wake up and everybody pulls their money out and they're going to be like, how do we afford this, let alone players out there? That's big news, of course, this weekend as well from that side. Then, of course, Pit Stop. We're going to start our 2-week Pit Stop shows, or twice-a-week Pit Stop shows starting this week. We're going to look back, of course, over the weekend in Atlanta. Fun weekend in Atlanta. Every race was fantastic. Even though there's controversy that they put the truck series on a clock, Dale. This race is going to end at this time. Right, babies. We'll talk about that today. Look back show for Atlanta is today as well. We'll do the look ahead show for COTA coming up this weekend as well. But they went winless in 2025. Michael Jordan and his team sues NASCAR, goes through this whole process, big settlement, kind of a give and take. They got with some of what they wanted. They had to give up some of what they wanted and everything. Boom, come back, season starts. Tyler Reddick, 23XI, which is Michael Jordan's team, where he's owner, comes out 2 straight victories for Tyler Reddick and that 23XI team. Michael Jordan, it's just finally good to see, Dale, that something's going his way in life.
Poor thing.
I know. It's just he's been winless for so long.
Well, he got caught in high school.
In 9th grade, yeah. Was that the last bad thing that happened to him?
And maybe that was the good thing that happened to him?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't even know if that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tyler Reddick, back-to-back, 2 straight victories for them. Overtime, a win there in Atlanta over the weekend as well. So Tyler Reddick's the first driver since 2009 to win the first 2 races of a NASCAR Cup season, and things to that effect. So yeah, and I can tell you, Bubba Wallace, another one of the 23XI drivers, was actually leading this race and made a mistake and went high and got just pummeled after that and went backwards. But he could have even have won it. So yeah, so sue NASCAR is the message on sue NASCAR and you become a winner. If you want to be a conspiracy theory, Dale. You sued NASCAR, and now NASCAR's like,
usually you sue the organization of which you are under, NFL,
Yes.
NASCAR, or whatever. Things don't go your way.
You go backwards,
Yeah.
pretty quickly. That is true, right? Al Davis, they put a thumb on you a little bit as you go on that. But in all seriousness, the best thing I think that happened yesterday, for a lot of reasons, 46 years to the day.
That's crazy.
After, they beat the Soviets back in 1980, Lake Placid, New York, as well. The U.S. beats Canada 2-1 in overtime to win the Olympic gold. There's 3 things that made this an amazing victory for me. Yes, Canada. If you're following social media at all, Canada's whining a little bit today. The best team didn't win that game is what Canada's saying today. Yeah, Canada, you're 100% correct. But we also weren't the best team when we took on those little lads over in England at one time in our lives either. Yeah, Canada, you know what we do here as Americans? We may not always be the favorites, but you know what we do? We still win. We still find a way. We're scrappy. We're scrappy down here. And boom, still beat you. And we weren't the best team on the ice yesterday. That's one thing. Number
Okay.
two, God, it's amazing. The Hughes brothers, he hit the game-winning goal in the quarterfinals, his brother. But then Jack Hughes yesterday takes a stick to the face, Dale. Teeth just everywhere out there. Doesn't matter. Goes and scores the game winner in overtime to win it on top of it. Fantastic.
You mean he didn't sit out the rest of the game?
No. No. My favorite thing is the pictures. He's got the fake flag draped over him. He's smiling. It's
Yeah.
just his two teeth are just cracked and just nasty looking. No. NBA player, sneezes and has to sit out for a week. This guy's like, what stick to the face? Let's go. My adrenaline will get us through it on that. So that's the second big thing that I got there as well. But then also you have to keep in mind, because I was thinking about the Dream Team back in basketball days. They were really happy they won the gold and everything, right? But then they got the politics side of it. Michael Jordan had to cover up the Nike or the Adidas logo on the jersey with the flag and all of that stuff. These guys are so excited to be there playing for the United States. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about anything other than winning the gold medal, and also, just beating Canada. Like that was like the biggest thing here. And it's amazing to watch that. It just makes you just be all happy and everything.
Yes.
To the point where I saw a Huffington Post article that goes, if you're watching the Olympics and you're just disgusted by the blatant American flag waving and stuff like that, ignore the stupidity of people that are just grumpy all the time. It's refreshing to see. And it's not that they were doing it, it's that they're highly paid athletes doing it. You don't see that very often.
No.
And that's what I liked about it.
It was refreshing. It was, again, for a guy who doesn't understand the full scope of hockey.
Yeah, like big men skates.
Yeah. But it was obviously as exciting can be. Immediately, I went on Twitter, and immediately people bitching and moaning about it being 3-on-3.
Well, you must have saw my page.
It's not real hockey. Whatever. Let us celebrate it for a couple days, and then if you want to go to the bitch, Steve.
No. The complaint is my complaint from my perspective. I don't know about anybody else's. I'm not going to speak for them. Is hockey's a 5-on-5 sport. Now, you speed things up like baseball with a ghost runner, etc., right? Regular season games, you want to get them over as quickly as possible. You don't need guys out there for 7 extra periods and stuff to that effect. Get the game over with and move on with it because you have another game, fairly quickly, stuff like that. But there's a reason why the NHL plays 5-on-5 till somebody scores in the playoffs and the Stanley Cup, because it means more. You got to play it the right way. Once you get to the medal games, you should play it the way it's supposed to be played and not do those little gimmicks of 3-on-3 and stuff like that. Because it does diminish it a little bit in my eyes. Because the game changes from 5 to 3. The reason why the U.S. won yesterday is because the Canadians went a little too deep. Their 3 players went a little bit too deep on the ice and got the turnover. U.S. got the turnover, and they had a 3-on-1, and that allowed them to score.
Right.
That ain't happening when it's 5-on-5 because you're going to have somebody back, a couple people back to cover it. That's what I mean by that. That's my complaint on it. In that stage, at that level, it needs to be 5-on-5 at a minimum.
And it seems like that would be an easy change. Hey, only medal round, we say 5-on-5.
That's how you do. Yeah. So the bronze medal game and the gold medal game, 5-on-5, may the best team win.
Right.
That's why I was like, we got robbed in this thing. Because 3-on-3 fundamentally changes the way the game is played. And you just played it 3 periods the way it's supposed to be played, and now you're like, well, now that the stakes are higher, let's change the format completely. This would be like NBA, like you get to like your game 7 of the NBA Finals, Dale, and you go into overtime. Oh, misses the shot, you go into overtime, and now you go. We're gonna play half court pickup style.
Half court 2-on-2.
It changes the fundamental style of the game going forward. That's my issue with it. I get why you do it too. You want it to get done as soon as possible. NHL GMs are probably like, get this thing done as quickly as possible. New Jersey Devils are like, our guy is missing his teeth out there. Get him off the ice. Fantastic game. It was a great game, and there's no doubt about it. Canada is correct in their saltiness today because they lost this game. You were the best team on the ice yesterday after that first period. But you know what? You didn't get it done. Sorry. Maybe if you're a curling guy that nobody cares about, stop running his mouth. Maybe you could have won that game yesterday.
Wow.
Canada. You and that Doug Ford guy that runs whatever province he runs or whatever.
Wow. Wow.
Most Canadians are likable people. Why are there always a couple unlikable ones running around? Gosh.
Well, you spent more time on curling than I thought.
I told you I love curling. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I will find curling during the non-Olympic season and watch it. I love me some curling and stuff like that. Then, of course, you had the Gaudreau stuff where they brought his kids out, afterwards and skated around with his jersey and stuff like that. It's just unbelievable. Just an unbelievable story here. And these aren't amateurs or college kids, anything to that. The thing that struck me the most about this is these are professional athletes.
Right.
You don't see baseball players doing that. You don't see basketball players doing that if they go into the Olympics. You don't see any of that happening. Hockey's just a different sport, man. It's just an old school different sport. It's fun to watch. And there's blood everywhere.
Still, it's so hard for me to comprehend you go against a team for 7 games in the playoffs or the Stanley Cup and after then you do the handshake line.
Hey, good series.
Oh,
we beat you.
I got in 3 fights with you this week.
I know. Beating the crap out of each other, and then you're like, oh, time to move on.
Yeah. It's a great sport.
It is amazing. Now, the best part about it is right, and then here's the other thing that they did, and I caught onto this. I put it out on Twitter yesterday. They did this, and I think this should be normalized. I get it. You know how to make, and we're going to compare that to NASCAR here with what they did. But they did it where there were no commercial breaks during live play. Only commercial breaks were during the period changes and stuff like that. Fantastic. That added to the excitement of this game. It's just because you were always there. You didn't have a distraction. You didn't go and all of a sudden you're watching a KFC commercial and you're thinking about chicken for a couple seconds. You're just sitting there watching it, and it's just all it is talk about this hockey game and the all of that stuff. Commercial free. It added suspense to the game. It was fantastic.
I also heard the announcers were pretty damn good.
Hockey has some of the best announcers out there, even to the point where, look, I don't know what people think about Mike Tirico. I know he does a lot.
Oh.
We're all probably going to get tired of him at some point, but he's a national treasure, man. Like his end of Olympics talk was just like, oh my God, I'm about ready to go run through a wall and it's over. He's a national treasure on that side. But I mean, it's just amazing. Then NASCAR did this thing where they announced on Fox, they're going to go side by side. So they're going to do commercial breaks, but the racing will still be in a smaller box and the commercial will be in a bigger box type of deal. The difference is when they announced that for the hockey game, there's just no commercials.
Right.
I don't care. Go box to box. That's cool. If they're racing, don't go away from it. In the middle of a hockey game, don't go away from it. It distracts you from it. Add it to the suspense.
Well, isn't it much harder to do in racing because there's no natural timeouts
unless there's a yellow flag
or periods or quarters or
yeah. And it was fantastic. The only complaint you got about NASCAR for doing it, I gave them a lot of props, and then as I'm watching it yesterday from Atlanta, they had like 700 of those box-in-box commercial breaks. And it's like, you're going no commercial breaks during live racing, but you're going to those box-in-box things 700 times.
Right.
It's like, okay, this is just an excuse to sell more advertising at that point. But I'm not going to be a beggar or chooser here. Beggars can be choosers, whatever the saying is. I'm not going to do that. At least this should be normalized. Big event. And you'll see it on the World Cup. They do not go to breaks in the World Cup while they're playing for the first 45 and second 45 minutes. They don't go to breaks during that time frame, and it's fantastic that they do that. This should be normalized for big sporting events. I get it. A Sunday night Suns Portland game, have commercial breaks during the breaks or whatever, fine. But this should be normalized for big events. Keep that suspense dialed up. Keep people watching. And then you do things like present, hey, this commercial-free section is brought to you by KFC. Finger looking good. Kind of hungry today. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm a little hungry today?
And see that boxing, I have mixed emotions about that. I guess you can still watch it if you're watching it live.
Yeah.
I very rarely watch anything live anymore.
Yeah, but so there's no benefit for you to do what you do.
But I'll fast like in golf. I'll see it in golf a lot. That's
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah.
They'll have a guy hitting some golf shots and they'll be playing a commercial.
Yeah.
And I'll just fast forward through till they get to the.
You don't watch the small box? You don't watch them hit still?
No.
Really?
No. I'll see their next shot.
It's just I agree with you. Just go commercial free while there's green flag laps. Go to break when there's a yellow or something to that effect. Do that. But I'll settle for box and box. But they do so many of them.
It just seems in racing, like I said, there's no natural
You never
breaks.
know. You never know when you're going to get your
Right.
next break, and you got advertisers, and they got to make money too, kind of a deal. But that's where you can kind of do the, because that's what they did with the World Cup several years ago. Was this half is brought to you by Coca-Cola, commercial free, and then they keep an ad up on, they keep the logo up on the top corner or something like that, type of a deal. Robert says, were the victories the last 2 weeks part of the settlement? Yeah, meaning Michael Jordan stuff. That's what I was alluding to, Robert. Robert caught up on what I was trying to say there. Do NASCAR, get the settlement, get a couple victories to start the season.
Don't you think NASCAR, if they lost, is saying, hey, they're going to get screwed? That bolt's out of place.
Yesterday, it was him or his teammate was probably going to win that race. So either way, they're going to win that. But I know I just every once in a while, I like a good conspiracy theory, Dale. So I like to throw that out there a little bit. Maybe I'll talk about that conspiracy theory a little bit more today on the pit stop. Look back at Atlanta this week as well. And then Robert says, usually just tolerate Tirico, but his line about the Kachuk brothers Kachucking was fantastic. And that's the thing, like, I don't sit back and go, even after yesterday or this weekend with the whole Olympics, I don't sit back and go, man, Mike Tirico was great. I barely remember what he says out there. But that also tells me he's a good broadcaster. Because guys like Joe Buck annoy me so much with what they say when I'm not paying attention. Then I'm like, oh, why'd you say that? I like an announcer. I like a play-by-play guy. I like a host to talk, but I don't notice it. Because usually when you notice it, it's because they're saying something dumb.
I don't know. It was interesting because I actually listened to Tariq. Like, I tried to watch closing ceremonies last night.
Yeah.
I got about 2 minutes into it and said, this is stupid. But that's
I
me.
don't understand
That's
the closing ceremony.
That's me. And again, if you love it, God bless you. But Tirico talked for about 12 to 15 minutes. I know he's waiting for something.
Yeah, he was stalling.
But I was enthralled.
Yeah.
And Winter Olympics is not my number one thing. But I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And I don't know why somebody would bash him.
Yeah, he just is so natural at what he does that it's like, well, here's what it is he comes in prepared. A lot of times, guys go into this and they have other people put their charts together and all of that stuff, and they show up, and then they read their charts, and they go over talking points and everything, and they can't, they can't do the small talk and sound like the rest of us can be because they aren't paying attention enough, and stuff to that effect. You genuinely feel like he's watching everything. Like he's a fan, and then he's like, I got this. And then he could just naturally, if he needs to stall or something happens or it's a blowout, he's just, like when he said that Kachuk brothers Kachucking, you get the impression that he knows what he's talking about, what he means by that.
Right.
Anybody else saying that, like a Joe Buck or whatever, you're going, that guy has no idea who the Kachuk brothers are. He was just told about them.
Well, remember, and he came straight from the Super Bowl, which
Yeah.
obviously you have to prepare for that.
Yeah.
To the Olympics.
Here's what he's doing now, though. He's coming back from the Olympics right into NBC basketball again. They finally given him a break, though. He's not doing baseball, the NBC baseball.
Yeah, that
Sunday night baseball. He's not doing that this year.
It's fascinating because I was watching the
Just a guy a break.
Stuart Scott 30 for 30.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting when you're that announcer and you're trying to make it, and then you finally make it, and then it's like now they add more and they add more.
Yeah.
And it's almost behooves you to kind of go, no, I'd like to take a step back a little bit like Nance, but Nance did it for 30 years.
Well,
Everything.
that's why Charles Barkley the ESPN wanted to sign Charles Barkley for a ton of years.
Yeah.
And the reason why he would not sign with ESPN was he was talking to people and they're like, they're just going to throw more. You got to be on this show, then this show, then this show. Right. And the way you make money at ESPN is a la Stephen A. Smith makes a crap ton of money because he's available to anybody. He never takes time off or anything to that effect. And stuff. So, yeah, you get into that, and you saw that. I saw that 30 for 32. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's how they get you. Is once you're in there, and then they say, that's how I got to make more money, and this is how you're going to make it, and stuff to that effect. And you have to do it if you like it, and it's amazing. But, so, yeah, they're finally giving Tariq a break, though. Put him in a glass case. But he is coming back. They announced that. Bob Costas said that last night on the NBC game. Was it last night or Saturday? But he was like, Mike Tirico will be with us next week again in coverage. And I'm like, he's coming right back to go into basketball?
Yeah, if it's one basketball game a week, though.
Yeah, but he was also, I mean, it's hard work. Don't get me wrong. No. But, I mean, the Olympics, he was like the host. He wasn't having to study for games and stuff to that. He could, he could sit there and watch these events and, enjoy his time and get out and see the towns and stuff like that. And not feel like he's got to get the players ready. Because it's harder to get ready for an Olympic sport. You just don't know the people as well.
You don't know the people, pronunciations.
Yeah. Like I could sit down and I could do something like with a Cardinals game or a Diamondbacks game today and probably do well enough to where I won't look like a complete moron. Just because I naturally know their names and who they are and where they play and stuff like that. Yeah, I have no idea.
You're gonna you get a card of some Cassassian.
Yeah, but then they put the how to say it, and they put those dashes, and you're still like, I have no idea. How to say
know because on my charts that's what I do, and God bless Samoans, but I'd pray that they wouldn't make a whole lot of plays.
I can't remember what it was. I think it was when I was doing the pregame stuff for the Sugar Skulls, and they had one guy, and they sent me I asked him to send me the pronunciation of it, and I was still
no.
So actually, I ran into him and I asked him. I go, man, I apologize, but how do you say your name? And he said it, and then I was able to nail it after that.
Okay.
Because I just have to hear it.
I always ask for a nickname. Hey, what do your buddies call you? KT?
Well, as an analyst, you could do that.
KT? Yeah, okay, I'll go with KT.
You could do that as an analyst, as the host or the play-by-play. You should probably know the names, right, as they go through it. But it's just fascinating to see. But what an Olympics. Hey, throw up here. Let's wrap up the Olympics here. Final medal count right here, folks. Most successful Winter Olympics in U.S. history.
Pretty good.
U.S. won 12 gold medals. Their previous high was 10, as I told you about this on Friday. That was set in 2002 in Salt Lake City. They also finished solo second in both gold medals and total medals for the first time since 1952. And the U.S. won golds and at least won medals, some golds, in events that they hadn't ever medaled in or anything to that effect. So, Winter Olympics, the U.S. is coming. We're coming for you, world. We're tired of your domination of the Winter Olympics. We're coming now. Bruce Cooper last week said that's one reason he doesn't like the Winter Olympics, because we don't win enough during it. That's
We're
changing,
coming.
folks. That's
We're
changing.
Coming. I will tell you before we go to the break at this top of the hour, I watched the most confusing race I've ever watched in my entire life, bar none. Last night, the mass start speed skating. There's like 10 of them. And they all start, and the first 2 laps, they're all like looking back at each other. They're going about, 10% of their speed. And it's all about who's going to take the lead and drag the other people along. And I know their strategy. I don't know the strategy. And all of a sudden, 2 dudes shot out.
But they were right behind each other, right?
They
The front runner,
were
front runner
right
back.
behind each other, but
That's
they
what I mean,
shot
yeah.
out
Yeah.
from the pack.
They got the momentum.
And everybody's like, all right, there's only 5 laps left. Is somebody else going to start going? And they almost lapped
Yeah.
the rest of the crew.
See, I get that as a NASCAR fan because they have what they call drafting tracks. So
Yeah.
like that was yesterday. You got to have teammates behind you to push you. And you don't want to be the car in the front because you spend more gas in the front,
Yeah.
more effort in the front because you don't have anybody breaking up that wind and the guy behind you. I know, so I get that concept, but really, was that an Olympic event? Or you
Yes,
just,
mass start speed
was that just in
skating.
your neighborhood?
That guy from Wisconsin, the guy who's won a couple.
Oh, that guy. Okay, I know what event you're talking about.
He was in it, and everybody's like, "They better start! They better start!"
Well, that's the thing. That's the whole strategy. Like, even on NASCAR, it's like, 2 laps to go, who's going to go? And
Yeah.
then you're like, they're like, 5 laps to go, who's going to go? And then it's like, 3 laps to go, is anybody going to go for this? And then just all of a sudden, it's just calamity as everybody's just trying to.
I mean,
trying
when
to
the
make moves.
announcers and they've done the event are saying, "I don't understand what's going on here. I guess they're just going to be happy with the bronze."
Norwegians, of course, dominated the medal count like they always do. They're the all-time winningest nation in Winter Olympics history. 18 gold in this one, 41 total medals. They're the most ever, by the way, breaking their own records. Their old record was 16 gold, 39 total medals back in 2022. So, yeah. Here's the other thing, the Netherlands. Like you dominate, like Norway dominates the cross country, the Nordic events, stuff like that. The one where you stop and shoot things for no reason and then get up and start skiing again. They dominate that stuff. The Netherlands, though, they had 20 medals in this event. They came entirely from long and short track speed skating. They had 13 long and 7 short track speed skating medals. That's the only event they're good in, apparently, Dale.
You're known for something, Steve.
That's the only thing they're good at. Come on back, folks. Second hour main event coming up next. And well, I'm back here. Dale will be back in just a moment as well. Don't forget, second hour main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hillistry. Oh, he got so mad about that mixed speed skating last night that he was like, "I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here." He's going to a spring training game today, folks, as well for him. So, Giants, no less. We're going to look into the Giants here in just a few minutes also. We're going to look into the Cubs, we should say, and spring training coming up here in just a little bit. Of course, lots of stuff out there. I'll go college baseball while we're waiting for Dale to get back in here. But the ASU, 7-0 on the season. Willie Bloomquist and his team. They had their first, let's say, bad game yesterday. Their starting pitchers were not good at the beginning. They were down, ended up coming back and winning the game to make it 7-0 for them. The good news is they're 7-0. They beat teams like Omaha. They beat them. They beat UConn. They beat St. John's, of course. They ended up winning 16-6 yesterday in that game. But they have coming up this week at Oklahoma for 2 games, so it gets a little bit harder for them. And then they play the baseball series, the Amity Bank College Baseball Series, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Texas A&M coming up on the schedule. That's all, coming up Globe Life Field here on the 27th, 28th, and March 1st. So their schedule's about to get very difficult for ASU here in their non-conference season. But starting 7-0 allows you, when you go up against Oklahoma, Mississippi State, Tennessee, and Texas A&M, if you drop some of those, you're going to still have a good record going forward, and you're going to drop a few of those, folks, because we're talking the best of college baseball. But it'll be a good test here coming up here for ASU baseball. And they've redone that stadium over there and everything. If you haven't been to an ASU baseball game and you're a big fan of baseball, I know spring training's happening right now, so you'd rather go spring training. But you want to go check out an ASU baseball game. It's fantastic with what they do up there. Arizona Wildcats, on the other hand, 1-7. They did finally get a win on Saturday down there in Tucson. But they're starting the season 1-7. Dale, I don't know, Dale, is that good?
I'm not even looking at college baseball right now. We got basketball, Steve. Come on.
I'm just updating everybody.
But the next thing you're going to kind of come in here and you're going to go, well, Arizona State gymnastics, look out.
Well, I could just be like all the other people, except for the Sun Devil Digest, the Devil's Digest, and the Sun Devil Source. They follow ASU everything, right? They even talk track and field and stuff to that.
Yeah.
But I pride myself in being different than all these other shows out there that are like, oh my God, I'm the biggest ASU guy. I'll give you all the ASU info, and then it's only how bad Bobby Hurley is, and and then the football team, and then you don't hear anything else from them because it doesn't drive the ratings. We at least mention what the teams are doing in these sports. We're not going to break them down or anything, but we will mention them coming up here as well from that side. The breakdown will come later.
I thought you'd start off with over the weekend your Wildcats. I saw that you were tweeting about them.
That was a fun game. Yeah, Arizona Wildcats beat Houston on Saturday. For them, Arizona, per ESPN research, Arizona becomes just the second team this century with 3 regular season wins versus AP top 3 teams in a regular season. That's impressive, right, Dale?
Yep.
What's more impressive about it? All 3 came on the road.
Okay.
That's unheard of in college basketball, obviously. Very rare that it happens. Of course, they beat Florida in Las Vegas, more of a neutral site there. They beat UConn in UConn earlier this season, then, of course, Houston on Saturday as well. So they had a 2-game losing streak. Boom, right back. Beat BYU, beat Houston. Now they get a little bit of a break because they have Baylor coming up. It's not a letdown game. Hopefully that's not a letdown game for them as well before they end up their season here with Kansas at home, and then Iowa State at home, who Iowa State lost last week as well over the weekend. And then they finish up with Colorado before the Big 12 tournament. So a little 1-game break before another tough 2 games coming the way. And I'm just going to say it. I've said it all along. I don't feel any different. There's some notches with Arizona where you could see them losing in the NCAA tournament with a bad matchup team. Like a hot shooting 3-point team that just shoots the heck out of the 3, they can possibly outscore Arizona as the game goes on, stuff to that effect. So you see weaknesses. But this is as close to, and Michigan's the same way, even though Michigan just lost to Duke also. That was a fun Saturday night. Arizona, Houston. Then I watched the end of the ASU men's basketball game. Then I turned over to Michigan, Duke, and then Suns were playing early on Saturday, 3 p.m. or whatever. And then I had UFC on. I was just like in sports overload Saturday night. I was all.
Well, the one thing about U of A that I'm reading more and more about is their lack of 3-point shooting.
That's the way that they play. That's what I'm saying. A team with a lot of talent that shoots a lot of threes and makes a lot of them, that's going to be that's like one of those weaknesses that you could see.
Right.
Teams playing down low against Arizona are going to struggle with the depth and the players that Arizona has. So you see some weaknesses, but I will say this. Arizona, if they're not a Final Four team this year, I don't know when they're going to get back there. This team is a bona fide Final Four team with their toughness, the way they play on the road, not on the road, upside down, injuries, no injuries. Arizona's a Final Four team this year. If they don't get there this year, I don't think they're ever going to get there.
Well, I'm going to be fascinated to see how this season unfolds and what happens with Koa Pete. Because if he continues to miss games,
How bad do you think this injury is?
I have no idea about that. I do know, though, the couple NBA draft forecastings that I've seen have him like late teens, early 20s.
But that was before he got injured.
Yeah. And so, I haven't seen one the last week or 10 days. So what happens if he drops to mid-20s? Does he come back?
Yeah,
Don't you come back if
I would.
that's the case?
I would.
But
Work on that game a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an absolute stud. His problem is he's not flashy like Carlos Boozer. Like, oh my God, I love me some Boozer. That kid is special. Get him on. Sons, I don't know what it takes to get one of those top 2, 3 picks to go get yourself a Boozer. That'd be fantastic. And everything. But all we know about Koa Pete is he's out indefinitely with that lower leg injury. That doesn't sound good.
no. Because
Doesn't
you're
sound
guessing as to what it is.
Well, now we are. But I mean, if it's an ankle, don't you go, he's out for a week and a half with an
Sprained
ankle.
ankle, yeah.
Yeah.
High ankle sprain, low ankle,
Sprained ankle.
whatever.
You keep it quiet because you're not sure when he's going to come back. But even without Koa Pete, to me, I told you, is the linchpin to this team going to the Final Four because of the way the other team has to play the other players with him out there. Doesn't mean they can't go to the Final Four without him. It's just with him, I'd be a lot more comfortable about it. But this Arizona team needs to make the Final Four. There's no excuse not to do it.
Look at Steve putting the pressure on
Not to do it. They're just not watching them. Same thing with Michigan. Same thing with Duke and Arizona. Those 3 teams should be Final Four teams, period, end of story. They are the top 3 teams in college basketball right now. Consistent. Their schedule's tough. There's no weakness to the schedule. There's no weakness to the team at all. These 3 teams should make the Final Four, and this should be a fun battle to see who wins the championship at that point. It's not me putting pressure on them. They're playing that way, Dale. It's not me. And I'm going to love when they don't get there, Dale. I'm going to love it.
Their truth finally comes out.
Then ASU men's goes and loses to Baylor.
2 steps forward, 4 steps back.
Good old Bobby Hurley. Then I'm reading over the weekend. Oh, the fans. I read an article. I don't remember where it was at, but it was, the ASU fans are ready to move on from Bobby Hurley. But athletic director Graham Rossini sees some positives in Hurley still. And I'm like, Is that, Dale, is that a trial balloon being floated?
That might be career suicide. I love me some Graham Rossini.
You think that's the end of it?
Oh, if he decides to bring back Hurley again.
Well, the problem is it's the same thing we talked about if they lose Kenny Dillingham in the offseason. It's the opposite, where you want to lose Bobby Hurley. If they would have lost Kenny Dillingham to a bigger school in the offseason, this fan base would have revolted. It would have gone backwards 300 times. Same thing. If you bring Bobby Hurley back, plan on 0 support for your basketball program moving forward. I've already given up. I've already not supported it. I've been tired of it for 3-4 years now. I'm tired of the same excuses every year. I'm tired of the attitude. I'm tired of all that stuff. And it's been, like I told you multiple times, it's been pronounced because Molly Miller, the way she is and the way Kenny Dillingham is. Bobby Hurley's not that, and it just looks miserable. We want positivity around here. We want the excitement, and stuff like that. Molly Miller's not exactly like winning a ton here in Big 12 play. All their losses have come in Big 12 play.
Right.
They haven't looked bad, but there's still that excitement and that energy on the court, and you have faith that they can win and compete in the game. ASU basketball, you're just like, yeah, whatever happens.
Yeah, Bobby is standing out more and more like a sore thumb when you see the other coaches of the major sports over.
And if you were to bring him back, like you said, there's going to be 0. You're going to do detrimental damage to the team if you bring him back. It's just you could tell it. And I haven't talked to any other fans that feel like that with me, where it's just like, look, it's just he doesn't fit into what this organization is building. He just doesn't fit into it. With his friend, doesn't mean he's a bad guy. Doesn't mean any of that stuff. It just means he doesn't fit into what they're building.
And he's had 10 years to do something.
Yeah, and that's the other side of it. It's my Lavello thing. We know what Lavello is.
Well,
Can we get better?
If Bobby had made it to national championship and not just to Dayton.
Dayton is our national
Yeah.
championship. But yeah, if they were to bring him back, I think you would see just a giant vacuum go through that. And it'll take years to recover from it. I think if you look at that stuff. But ASU men's lose to Baylor. Then the women did go down and beat Houston as well, 81-56 for that game for Molly Miller and her squad there. And look, they're staying right there alive. They're right in the middle of the pack there of the Big 12 and on the women's side. And look, this is their first year, and it's all transfer players this year. It's just only going to get better, right? As she gets her roots planted here and gets these players to commit and stay moving forward as well. And then GCU, just unbelievably bad loss for them. I've been watching them closely because they had a chance to compete for, holy cow, I just forgot what division they play in there. Mountain West championship, because they were beating Utah State and San Diego State and stuff like that. But now they've lost several bad games to teams way worse than them. They lost to Wyoming over the weekend as well.
I was at that one.
Did you go to that?
Yes.
Saturday night?
Friday night.
Or Friday night, yeah.
No, it was Saturday night.
It was
I'm sorry,
Saturday.
my bad.
Yeah, that's all right. The weekend, yeah.
My bad. Saturday night.
Because they do play on Friday nights. That's why I get confused. So you went to that game, huh? Oh, feet on the floor? Is that what happened there?
No, I almost up in the nosebleed section. I mean, it was 6 rows up, center court. Could almost see the top of Jerry Colangelo's head.
Yeah, but upper row there is like sweet tickets at the.
No, I was lower level, six rows from the court, right across from the Havoc, so I didn't have to listen to them. But there's an article on that Arizona Sports website about, and I do love me some Bryce Drew.
I like him a lot,
but that is not a tournament team.
GCU?
This year, no, Grand Canyon.
I'm sorry, yeah, GCU.
Yeah, GCU.
I know what I said.
I
agree.
It's not a tournament team this year.
You don't expect them to be, though, first year in the bigger conference.
No.
It was a huge step up going from playing Turlington State and Chicago State and all those types of schools. It's a huge step up to Utah State, San Diego State, New Mexico, Nevada, UNLV. It's a big step up.
Mm-hmm.
And even Wyoming. From what I didn't watch the game, but I saw a bunch of highlights on it. It just looked like the size difference and speed difference was the difference in that game. And that's where you get up to recruiting guys that can play Mountain West basketball, because they did a great job of recruiting people that could play better in the, whatever conference.
Mountain West.
Mountain West. Then you get up here to this. What are they in now?
No, I'm sorry. They're in the WAC, and now they're in the Mountain
Yeah,
West.
WAC before. Okay, yeah, because I'm like, wait, do I have it backwards? Yeah. There's a big step up there in talent.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to start recruiting at that talent level going forward and stuff like that. But I tend to agree with that. I haven't said it here, but I tend to agree. They're not a tournament team.
I mean, even Bryce said we have to win the tournament. And the thing about the Mountain West is
they're only going to get one or two wins.
Yeah, well, sometimes Mountain West will get 2.
Yeah.
But when you're in the WAC, it's whoever wins the tournament gets the only bid. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing on that. I mean, Utah State is really good. San Diego State's really good. New Mexico is really good. Those are the only 3 I think that can get in. So you got to win it, but then do you get a second team in? But it also depends on other bubble teams. Do other bubble teams get in because they win tournaments and stuff to that effect? But I think GCU's problem is, if I must be frank about this, is they've got to recruit kids that can play at this level, which I think they'll be successful in doing.
I would trust Bryce Drew, yeah.
And it's size. The Wyoming size is what shocked me, because it's Wyoming. And I was like, wow.
One thing you could tell, the Wyoming guys haven't seen sunshine in a while.
Yeah, they're down here. They're down here in Phoenix. Like, what is that? What is that orange bulb in the sky?
Gosh. Wyoming. I got recruited by Wyoming.
Did you?
And,
Lovely.
and
Up
we
there in
drove.
Laramie?
And we drove through Laramie on the way to Illinois one year, just for me to kind of
check
look
it
at
out?
it. Smelled horrible.
No, it didn't.
Oh,
Smelled
it
like
did.
cows. They
It
have
did.
a big rodeo part of their school.
Yeah, it just didn't smell good.
No, it smelled like because it was clean air, fresh air up there, God's country.
No, they also have mining there. I
Yeah,
think.
they do. Yeah, it's a big thing. Laramie. I'll put it this way: if you go, I've been to my mom's dad, my grandfather was a rodeo guy, trained horses and stuff. So I spent a lot of summers in Wyoming and stuff. Laramie's not the place you go if you're going to Wyoming. Let's just put it that way.
No, there are some pretty places.
There's other places you go.
It ain't Laramie.
to see Wyoming, and that's not it. Yeah, so I tend to agree with that as well. But I mean, those I saw a thing like a week ago, where like literally I'm just gonna make up times like 9 a.m. The downtown of Laramie was like just perfectly clear, nothing, roads cleared, everything. 15 minutes, they did a time lapse. 15 minutes later, you couldn't see 5 feet in front of you, snowpack everywhere. And then they did like another 20 minutes later, they showed it again, and the storm's on. It's all sunny and clear, and just snow everywhere, and it's built up like 4 feet.
Oh.
And I'm just like, who lives in that? Meanwhile, I'm like, it's sprinkling today.
Yeah. Clouds.
So there's your college baseball outlook for you as well, Dale. And then we got to get into this. I thought the Suns would split this weekend, so I'm not disappointed from that perspective. A back-to-back's hard in the NBA. We make fun of it a lot because guys can't play, stuff like that. And then you get the Dylan Brooks hand injury. You get the Goodwin goes out with whatever the heck ails him, hamstring or something, right? Jalen Green, they're just managing that right hamstring on his side as well. Devin Booker, hip strain as an issue there. It was a calf strain for Goodwin is what it was. That's right as well. They're still trying to get Haywood Highsmith back. He's a couple weeks out still, stuff like that. Grayson Allen, he's got a whole leg injury management type thing going on. So that happens. Double overtime game, which is terrible for a back-to-back. Like I was openly questioning who's going to be available tomorrow night
Right.
with the set 2 over. Guys are playing 45 minutes. Guys you have to count on the next night. So I expected nothing last night as well. But again, the injuries for the Suns are happening in freakish ways. If you're just stepping on a guy's ankle and twisting it, if you're pulling a hamstring or a calf muscle while you're in the middle of a game and you do something freaky and it just goes, those are one things. These injuries seem to be like weird. Bro, when was the last time you heard of somebody breaking their hand playing basketball?
It's been a long time.
Doesn't happen very often. They're becoming freaky injuries, which is what worries you. Not good.
Valley can't have nice things.
Yeesh. So the injuries. So now officially, we don't know how long Goodwin will be out, but it's a left calf strain. Right? I mean, if they were football players for the Cardinals, they'd be out half a season.
What is it with Cavs and Arizona athletes?
Thank you. I'd like to know that too.
Number 1 draft picks for the Cardinals, defensive linemen.
I'll say this: when Jalen Green hits that shot to win it in double overtime, there's a shot of the bench that somebody's got, and I watched it. You can see Devin Booker and Haywood Highsmith on the bench in sweat garbs. And he hits the shot, and everybody starts to celebrate. And Booker's got a big smile. And all you see is Booker smiling and going, yeah. And then he disappears down to the side he's like, oh, my hip or whatever's wrong with him. It looked painful. And even Highsmith was ready to run out there. And he's like, oh, wait, I'm injured too. What I'm saying to you here is watching that reaction from Booker tells me this is more than a hip contusion. Sore hip. He's only going to be out a week.
No, they're going to reevaluate
That's what I
him
mean.
in a week.
It might be a little bit longer. The way he reacted when just cheering in the background was like, ooh, that looked painful. That looked like he was painfully hurting there. So,
Well, everything went so smooth in the first half of the season. Yes, Jalen Green was dinged up for a lot of it, but
yeah.
Everybody else stayed mostly healthy. Booker got hurt right before the All-Star break.
Yep.
But to start the second half, and we talked about it, it's a sprint. It's not right in the middle of the season where you have 40 games before and
that's the
42
problem.
games after. They have 26 games left.
They didn't say you give a time frame for Dylan Brooks either. But I'm imagining a broken hand. Now, it's not a shooting hand, but you still got to catch the ball and stuff like that. But I imagine that's a 6 to 8 week injury minimum, right?
Right.
They never said. I don't think they saw from that perspective. I think you can win without Brooks and keep yourself alive. Here's the good news. If you'll throw those standings up for me, Kobe. Here, I got the hiccups. Excuse me, folks. Here's the good news. You're in 7th spot right now. But if you look down here, the 11th spot, they have 21 wins. You have 33. Memphis isn't going to go on this giant run, to where they're going to surpass you. You're making the playoffs in the play-in game no matter how hard you play her. If you just go 500 here with all these injuries and everything and then ramp up for the playoffs, you're going to be all right. You're going to be in the play-in game. It sucks to hear when this team could have been vying for a 4, 5, and 6 seed.
Well, a week ago we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, Rockets, who knows what's going on internally there with burner accounts and things like that on social media. The Lakers, is Doncic going to stay healthy, and how's their cohesion? Thought the Timberwolves probably would be the one that we couldn't pass. And now we're not, instead of looking at 5-6, we're looking at 9-10.
Yes.
In a week.
Yes. Yes. Because Portland can go on a run. Golden State's playing well at home, so those two teams can pass you. Clippers, I'm not 100% sure of, but maybe it's possible they do. But you're looking at the 10th seed here if you don't start figuring something out here to go. Here's the other thing. It's not just the injuries that I've noticed these last 3 games. Their shootings are way down.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I understand because you played double overtime. So last night I'm willing to give you a break. This does not look like the team that started the season through beginning of February? This doesn't look like that team. I attribute it to they were tired mentally and physically going into the All-Star break and they needed the break. But they're coming out the same way.
I mean, they won that game on Saturday. They shot 34% from the field. And Jalen Green hits the game winner, so that kind of absolves everything. But he was 6 for 26 from the field.
Yeah.
2 for 11 from the three-point line. And he made the game winner, so all is forgiven. But you're not going to win many basketball games shooting 34% from the field.
Yeah. It's alarming how they come out. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this without going to my, overzealous, attitude that I do and stuff like that. But this team, it's alarming how they come out looking like they did when they went in. And then you have the injuries on top of it. Yee! They got to wake up. Now, they've given themselves some grace, which is the positive. But if they're doing this after the All-Star break, do you think they're going to be able to turn it around for the playoffs get here? And get back to playing that style again before the playoffs get here?
I could see that, but I'm concerned about these injuries and how they're stacking up.
Yeah, that's the issue. And like I said, it's one thing if you're playing hard and you tweak a hamstring or you fall weird like Green did that one game. Those injuries happen. Those are freak injuries that happen. Now, like you said, when they're doing all that stuff and everything, it's like, So that's my worry on the Suns here as well. Celtics at home tomorrow. You got Lakers after that coming up as well. So your schedule does not get any easier either coming up by that. But here's the other side of it. As long as you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, a la the Kings. If you go to Sacramento here after the Celtics-Lakers and you don't beat Sacramento, panic button galore. Because Sacramento, Levine's out for the rest of the year. Like, they're benching everybody now and stuff. They're starting to do the tinking thing. So Kings, Bulls will be a tough out, but you can do that. Pelicans you can beat. Hornets you can beat. Then you got Bucks there on that side. I think Raptors you can beat. You have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. There's no margin of error on that side of it. You might not be able to beat the Bucks and the Nuggets, those good teams coming up here. That's going to be the key here going forward. But until you get everybody back healthy and going, but it is amazing how, and I know it's easy to go Merrill Kelly and add all the other stuff in, but if you focus just on the Suns, how relatively healthy they were, except for Green, for the first part of the season, and now it's everybody's going.
Well, and you can just tell there's a different pace on the basketball court. One of the things that I think everybody enjoyed so much before the season, before the All-Star break, was how much this team hustled, how much the big guys beat the other big guys down the court, the hustle, the defense, all those things. And now it's almost like they're settling back into what a regular NBA team does.
Yeah.
And we're not super excited about that.
That's what bothered me about what they did before the All-Star game. It was like, that's what everybody else does. We don't do that. So it's going to be fascinating. I don't know where the Suns are going from here. Good news is they built themselves enough grace here with their record that they can falter. This isn't the time you want to falter, though.
No.
This is the problem with what you are facing going forward. When we come back here, my back hurts, Dale.
We also got some high school stuff going on.
Yeah, we're going to hit that up next. I followed this story. I don't know who to believe in this, but it's looking more and more like the people that I don't want to believe are telling the truth. This is what you get. This is what you get with the Open, Dale. I'm surprised you don't see it in football also.
Football's just, it's a standalone.
Come on back, folks. We'll talk about it. The main event. And we're back here, main event.
Your back's hurting, your head's hurting.
Everything hurts. I'm 49 now, Dale. You remember 49. You were probably still in the NFL at 49.
49, I was still bouncing around like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, because that was because you were still in shape. You're like, I got to stay in shape. You're still in
Somebody
football
might call
mode.
me back.
You were still in football mode before you let that go from that side of things. So high school basketball.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we can't have nice things. Sir, the before we get into this here, just the professionals have now infiltrated the
Yes.
college level with this Patterson situation at Kansas, where he just does not want to be there and everything. It's coming to a head here. He's costing that team. They got blown out by 20-something points. He didn't hang out with his team at all in the huddles on the court and stuff like that. There's an obvious disconnect. He doesn't want to be there type stuff. That's now going into the high school level. And we're not just talking NBA to whatever. We're talking football's doing it as well, right? NIL's filtering down and transfer portals and stuff to that effect. And now basketball. There's something doesn't surprise me that that has happened. I'm surprised it didn't happen. Like, I question that openly on the football side of things. Like, why don't you just lose this first game to not get out of the open if you're not in the bash or whatever level? And now somebody's finally done it, reportedly. But it's also just sit the kids out. Why do you do all this extra story stuff? Dale, tell everybody about the story.
Well, evidently last week, and again, this is I've just been following it on Twitter,
Yes,
and
I'm with you. So if we're wrong on some facts, because I've had a lot of reading about this. So we're going off of what we know online and stuff like that. I've not made phone calls and stuff like that. But
pretty reliable source. Kevin McCabe, he's all over high school sports.
But he also has been wrong on some of this stuff before. So I do also do it with a grain of salt.
And the facts of the matter are Central High School has two really, really good basketball players.
Two of the best in the state.
And they are on
They're brothers.
their precipice of being in the Open or being in the 6A tournament.
Yes.
And the same thing, was in football, to where a lot of teams say we have no chance to win the Open.
Yeah. If you make the Open, we're going to lose the first week, and
Right.
we're going to be done.
But if I'm in the 5A or 6A tournament, I have a chance to win the state championship.
Yes.
And so, like, the 4A was originally part of the football Open. They're out.
Yes.
And they made some adjustments. In basketball, the fact is, when you look at what happened the other night, Central played at Sandra Day O'Connor.
Yes.
And the mom of these two really good basketball
If
players.
Central wins, they're in the Open.
Yes.
They get bumped up.
And evidently they didn't want to. Mom, again, this is how the story goes. It will come out here probably in the next week or so as everybody's investigating it. Mom sat in the visitor bleachers with her Central garb on.
Yes.
She was asked to move over to the visiting section.
To the Central side.
Yes, which, again, first question I'm having is, I was kind of a jerk at my daughter's basketball games, but I never sat on the home side when we were the visitors. And I never sat on the visitors when we were the home side. You go sit with your crew. So she gets asked to move over there. She doesn't want to, for whatever reason. Things escalate. They try to get the Central coaches to get involved and have her move. She doesn't. Then she comes out and says she feels threatened.
Yes.
And not only does she leave the game, but her two boys go with her.
Yes. They both just pack up their stuff and walk out of the gym.
And this is the tweet from Kevin McCabe yesterday. He said, sources have told me tonight the Central High playoff tanking and Maddenley departure, it was the Maddenley brothers.
Yes.
Departure, they were pre-planned and calculated. Calls to the head coach, Bustos, have gone unreturned. It's a black eye for the basketball Open. Expect a swift decision on the Bobcats from the AIA. So obviously still things.
By the way, it was a playoff game also on top of it. So like it wasn't a regular season game on seeding and stuff like that. It's a big deal. So if you lose, you can drop down. And they ended up losing the game to O'Connor on top.
Because they're the two brothers, I think between two of them average 28, 30 points a game. Yeah. If not their two best players, two of their three best players. And they leave with their mom. I always try to put myself in the position. If I'm playing in that game, and I'm not, and even if a coach comes up to me and go, hey, we're going to throw this game, you guys just need to leave. I would have a hard time with that. But what I'm saying is, if I'm looking over there and I'm seeing they're trying to get my mom to move, I'd walk over to her and go, Mom, get over on our side.
Or leave. Yeah.
I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish by that, other than if this was actually pre-planned.
You don't. I'll say this: as somebody that goes to high school basketball games and stuff like that with no rooting interest, I'll just show up at a high school basketball game, and I don't care in the teams.
Right.
I've gone in on the visitor's side before and just looked at whatever, but I would never root there. I don't have another school's garb on or something like that. Anything like that. But no, but then I move over to the side that I'm there to see somebody perform or do whatever. I move to that side. Right. It doesn't matter if I sit on the visit. It's just not what you do because it gets a little vocal.
It can.
There at times.
It can, especially if it's a playoff atmosphere and all that. I don't know the rivalry between Central and O'Connor.
The problem is it's Phoenix Central lost its second round Open Division basketball game. That was their second round game there as well without them. The other thing about this is the game before, one of the Manling brothers didn't play in the fourth quarter. So, like, it's been a thing here.
Yeah.
I think the reason why calls aren't coming back from the head coach is because there's whether it's true or not. If you look at the facts, it looks like they're tanking.
Looks very suspicious.
And what does that say about high school basketball?
Right.
It's allowed to happen. AIA is looking into it. Of course, people are in uproars over this because they're trying to skirt the system. Like I said, I'm not surprised somebody's doing it. I thought there could be teams in football this year that could possibly do it. Lose that first round game so you can drop down into 6A. And go. Even if you could go on a little bit of run because you knew you weren't winning a championship, but you could probably win the 6A championship.
Right.
Or at least compete for it and stuff like that. It's just the blazingly doing it. Like you said, there's other ways to throw a game
Yeah.
besides that. Because not only that, you're making O'Connor look like their fans are uncalled for,
Well, their athletic director and I think their principal went over and just asked her to please move over to your side. Which, again, I don't know. There were times where I'd sit away from when the girls were playing. I would sit away from the moms and dads.
Yeah.
But I'd always be on our side.
Yeah. Yeah, go sit in an upper corner somewhere.
Yeah.
Watch it and watch the game, something like that, on your side
Right.
or sit out in the, before you go in the gym, you got the area there where you can hang out at and get, Starbucks or whatever. It just looks weird. It feels weird. It makes the other school look bad. It's like they're trying to make the other school embarrass O'Connor on top of it. That's what it looks like. Now, what the truth is, I don't know. I'm just going by like you. I'm reading his stuff. I'm reading other people's stuff out there around it and things like that. But the summation of this, whether it's true or not, she was being threatened or whatever side of the story you fall on this or whatever comes out on the AIA and stuff like that stuff. For high school kids to be tanking, get a grip of yourself, man. Who do you think you are? Right? First of all. Second of all, God, could you imagine if you're even being recruited by a college and that college is like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I would have such a hard time with that. I'd be so mad at my mom.
Yeah. Why are you distracting us? But here's my point, though. I think the boys don't want to play in this either. I think they're complicit, which is the sad part, because if a coach or the mom is telling these kids to do this and they're doing it, that's even more disgusting than just the boys coming up with this.
Again, there's a lot of conjecture, there's a lot of what ifs and could have beens and all that, but as it is right now, it's Sandra Day O'Connor's being painted in a bad light.
Yes, that's what they did. Fine. Here's my opinion on it. Tank the game and be stupid, fine. Get your repercussions. But you're taking down another school to make them look like the bad guys?
Right.
When it's you? That's like a bank robber going, well, I got all this blue dye on me. The bank got me all blue. How dare them? I'm going to sue them for turning blue. But you robbed the bank. It's like, what?
I've seen a couple of those, maybe it's on Facebook or Twitter, where the porch pirates, and they'll set them up.
And they blow up.
They're all purple, and they're mad.
And they're like, what are you doing to me? And it's like, it's just like, what is happening out there in the world right now? And it's turning disgusting to where we don't even, it makes you not even want to support high school sports, to be honest with you, when this stuff happens. Now, this is a bad apple, but we see it a lot out there, right? And it's just like, what? What is happening right now as well? So Central did beat Arcadia. And like I said, he didn't play. One of the brothers didn't play in the fourth quarter. They had the lead and stuff like that. So they were able to do that. But here's the other side of it. And this is what I can't get my hand on and everything. What does tanking in the second round do for them? They just lose? How does that make any sense?
Again, I don't pretend to know, because everything changes almost yearly with those rules. And used to be if you're in the open, you're lost, you're out. Now if you lose in the first round, you drop down to
But this was the second round game. So it's like, what is
That
what is
doesn't make a
happening
lot of
right
sense.
now?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of unknowns that we got, but it's just you're seeing the proliferation of kids forcing their way out of games now, or schools, because they don't want to be there anymore because they can go someplace better in high school and stuff to that effect. And it's just not. I don't like it.
Who's their favorite team? The Utah Jazz, for crying out loud?
The best owner in sports. Got to take charge of them. I'm just looking real quick here, Dale. I'm looking up. I'm trying to see if I can get because I looked this weekend when I was reading it because it's a single elimination, deal. I don't. So what's the benefit of doing it? They just don't want to play anymore. But then why don't you just go, hey coach, we're not going to play anymore. We're moving on.
It'll be fascinating once everything comes out. It's just
there's
big
investigations going on. And the head coach is smart to be quiet to the media and stuff because he's going to have to talk to the AIA and the school probably. And how high does this go? Let's see here really quick here. Sorry about this, folks. I do have an honest question. I have not been. I'm going to see if there's any update here. First thing that comes up when I just Google search that makes my head hurt right there. A legislature wants AIA to examine racial taunts at that Chinley.
Yeah, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but that's the narrative here. That's everywhere on the deal. That was last week when that happened, and but even that stuff, it's like, what are we doing?
Don't get it. Don't understand it.
Yeah, especially in high school. I don't understand it at all. But then you get down to the high school level, like kids are going to be stupid. I get it. But what's the benefit to these two kids sitting out this game? Nobody can answer that question.
Right.
What benefited them? If they didn't want to play, then they just show up and not be in uniform. Why did they do it? And nobody can answer that as of now. So I guess we'll get that answer with the investigation and stuff to that effect. Because that's what baffles my mind. I just did a search on it too, and it didn't come up. Also, and then Robert Chambers says, "Was that Jaden Daniels' aunt?"
I don't know.
If you guys know the Jaden Daniels story of his mother.
Yeah.
And then he also said, thought Allen might have a brain injury given his last 30 seconds of the second OT. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is what I don't get. Going back to the Suns real quick. I don't know if you saw the whole. I watched most of the second over. I watched most of the game, but then into the overtimes. But Grayson Allen's going to the hoop. And the dude goes up to block the shot, but he obviously winds up, comes through, and then whacks right in the head. And then, they call the foul. Bloop, foul. And then they go to the microphone, and the ref gets on there, with his 1970 Bob Barker microphone and goes, we're going to review this for a, whatever.
Flagrant.
They call it something else, but, a
hostile
act. So they go and look at it. And they're showing the replay of this guy, like, windmilling right into Grayson Allen's head. Follow through and everything. Then they come back and they'll be like, there was no evidence of a hostile act, so just shooting two. And it's like, and then they kept showing the replay of this guy not just putting his hand up, but following through, missing the ball completely and hitting Grayson Allen in the head. I don't know what a flagrant foul is, obviously. Nobody does. Because they're looking for a windup and a follow-through. And both of those things existed. And NBA refs are the worst. The worst things on the planet.
Just give it time. Baseball's back.
I know. That's my favorite meme right now going around is like, it's like a Super Bowl. And like, oh, thank God we don't have to deal with NFL refs anymore. And then it's like April 1st. This effing ref, this effing ump.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, hey, just really quick, let's check in with the Cubs in spring training. Cubs this weekend at spring training. Let's see how the Cubs are doing. I just threw that on Kobe there. Give him a second here. But this is a Cubs spring training one there, Kobe.
The game. Here's the pitch now. There's a fly ball into shallow right center field. That's going to fall beyond anybody for a base hit. And the Cubs have two runners at third. Here goes the throw to second. Now the runner slides in there. He's out. Now they got two runners at third. This is going to turn into a double play, or maybe even a triple play. Going over to third, there were two guys on base. And the backup runner who got tagged first is the guy who's going to be called out. And now the runner at third leaves the base, and he's going to be tagged out. It's a triple play to end the inning. Oh, wow. Matt Shaw made a boneheaded rookie mistake there. They both got tagged. Bregman was the guy who got called out.
I love announcing. He's one of the best ever. When he was on ESPN Sunday night, it was fantastic. And now he still does Giants games after all these years.
Right.
But just when he goes, boneheaded play there. I guess it's spring training for them too.
Triple play on a single.
But not only that, but with two guys on third.
Yeah.
And one of them didn't know to just stand there and not move. I like those Giants uniforms, though. But Dale's going out. Ironically enough, we did not plan this. Dale's going out to the Giants game today.
Yeah, heading out there to the Charles Lodge, Steve.
Who they playing?
I have no
I
clue.
know exactly. I don't know. Got your sunscreen? They don't burn? I know. That's air conditioned in the Charles Lodge.
There's plenty of shade, Steve.
In terms of Diamondbacks, before we get into the concerning thing here, Lawler hit a home run in his first at bat. On Friday, Dale, they put the lineup up for the first game. No Lawler in the outfield. And I was like, why isn't Lawler starting and playing in this game? Obviously, Alec Thomas got the start on Friday. But then Lawler did get in the game, I believe it was Saturday, if you'll forgive my knowledge of the weekend with everything. But Lawler hit a home run in his first at bat. Not only that, he worked the count, which was impressive for him to get to that point. Waldschmidt, Waldschmidt, excuse me. He's hitting phenomenal here so far. This kid could possibly win a spot on this team in a crowded outfield. This is going to be fantastic to watch him coming up here as well. I don't think he will. I think because they want him to get more experience out there as well. But he's doing well. Arenaldo. Sorry, Kobe. What? I said that wrong. Oh, thank you, Kobe. Our third baseman, Arenaldo. What is wrong? I'm having a stroke here right now, folks.
Arenado?
Thank you. I don't know what's just happening right now.
Oh, Steven.
I'm going to blame Kobe for saying that in my ear right as I screwed that up.
No.
It wasn't Kobe.
You'd already messed it up.
Oh. Anyway, our third baseman here coming up. Home run in his first at-bat. Had a double on Sunday to hit a run, and he's looking good at the plate so far. I know it's early spring training, but you'd rather see guys having success early than struggling.
You mean them being Merrill Kelly?
Oh, before we even get to that. When are they going to start pitching some of these starters? I know we're 3 days into spring training, but it's all these guys that aren't going to make the team. They're stretch guys out, get them ready for the season. Other teams are having their aces pitch right now on the mound, right? Nobody else is benching their players and going, "Oh, well, we'll get our guys out there in the next couple weeks." No, they're out there on the mound, folks.
Well,
the Diamondbacks are resting these guys, but we do know why Mel Kelly hasn't been out there yet.
Isn't it fascinating that last year, went into the last week before Torrey decided who the opening day starter was going to be, and he had to interview 20 people.
I know.
And talk and think.
Well, he did an odd amount. It's like 17 people because you got to have that odd amount so you can
and then sleep on it and all those things. And this year he announces Merrill Kelly is opening day starter before the preseason starts.
Yeah.
And now, Steve,
really quick, I know we're talking baseball, but Shams just put out the timetable for Dylan Brooks with that broken left hand, 4 to 6 weeks. So not as bad.
It's a playoff time.
Well, but better than 6 to 8 going into the playoffs. Now he can be back for the playoffs coming up. So that's just hitting the stuff right now as well. So sorry to switch around there as well. But Robert does say, need Rallis to stay away from Waldschmidt. Dude looks like an inside linebacker. He is. He's a big dude, man. That's the thing. And he has some, even his double was like hard hit double there as well. But this is my complaint. Maybe they're not, last couple of years they've been like, well, we got to gear them up and all this stuff. Like, we're watching aces of stats have already been in to pitch an inning in a game already for a lot of these teams. Name me one Diamondbacks big name guy that's been out there that started. They're all doing BP practice right now.
Bullpen session.
If they're doing bullpen session, they can't go out for a game for an inning, Dale?
You don't want to have a stiff back.
Yesterday, one of the bullpen guys, drawing a blank right now, in bullpen session, takes the ball hitting off in the bullpen session, gets the ball hitting off, hits him in the back. I want to say Travis Henry, but that's not it. It wasn't Henry. But it's one of their guys, the bullpen guys that they're counting on. But if you can throw bullpen sessions, why can't you go out and throw an inning? Why can't you go out and face one batter, two batters, and go on to it? This is the stuff I don't understand about baseball. So Merrill Kelly reports, he's scheduled to do a bullpen session on Saturday if you don't know what we're talking about. And he gets scratched. And we find out that he's got a little back soreness. Well, that's fine. I my back sore all the time, too. I get it. So then they talk to Merrill Kelly afterwards. He's in the locker room and everything. Several people had this. I don't remember where I stole this from, but, a lot of people have it follow. I think this was Diamondbacks on SI, Jack Summers and those guys and everything. So they talked to Merrill Kelly afterwards, and something he says made me even more alarmed than because all we had heard so far is he's going to get imaging, he's going to take it easy, and he's going to get imaging. Then they talked to Merrill Kelly, and when I saw this, I went, "Here's Merrill Kelly after you scratched from those bullpen sessions."
We've been kind of just treating something, I guess in the mid-back, you'd call it. Kind of changes throughout the days. Different days feel differently. And then I went to go throw in the bullpen today. Got to around pitch 10, started feeling little stuff. And then the last 2 to 3, the sensation was enough that I, being proactive, just felt like it was time to shut it down.
You hear that at the beginning, Dale? I've been dealing with it.
No, to me, it's, I guess you'd call it the mid-back.
Yeah. Well, he said there's a longer clip, too, where he says, some days I feel good, some days it's there, some days it's in this area, some days it's over here. Like it's moving?
Sounds like me.
It's moving?
Yeah, it moves.
No, you pull a muscle, it stays in one spot. If it's moving, doesn't that indicate something worse?
And it talks about nerves and structure and yeah.
But then he says, "Oh yeah, we've been watching it for a week or so now."
2 years, $40 million, Steve.
It doesn't. Also, the Diamondbacks don't send guys for imaging right away very often, which they haven't in this case. It's been quiet for over a week or so, he said.
Right.
But the fact that they're sending it for imaging tells you. It's just, he just showed up to camp. Hill. It's not like he's thrown 700 innings.
Playing with his kids in the backyard, Steve.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
Well, don't you have to question either how these guys are coming to camp or what they're doing when they get here? Because this is another pitcher. Even if it ends up being nothing, it's a precautionary deal, and maybe it's just a sore back. I don't think so. I'm not a doctor, but I don't think so because sore backs don't move. Like Dale said, it leads to nerve damage. It leads to, like you said, structural issues, stuff like that. It might be manifesting in his upper back, but it might be a shoulder, a lower shoulder that's manifesting into his back, stuff like that. That stuff's real out there if you don't know. And but how many years have we been dealing with this with guys coming to camp and they get hurt getting ready for the season? Not because they're throwing hard and you're throwing them out on the mound too early.
Right.
The Diamondbacks don't do that.
No.
I've already told you that. We have ace pitchers out there pitching for every other Major League Baseball team, and Diamondbacks have yet to get one of their starters on the mound. It's not that they're going out there too early and pulling something. They're just doing it and stretching out type of a thing.
What's their off-season regimen? What? I thought after last year, Troy said they're going to evaluate everything.
But even if what the players are doing in the offseason, I lean to the side. I could be completely off base here. I come to the side of something. This is happening to them when they get to camp. So what are you doing for the setup on it? It doesn't make any sense. They're not pushing them hard. That's for sure.
Well, and that's the thing. I wonder because I've seen that happen before in football to where guy injures himself working out on his own, doing something.
It hides it.
Hides it
Till
till
he
he gets
shows
to
up.
camp.
Well, you got to wonder about that. But here's the problem, though. This is what, year 3 of a starter getting injured early in camp?
Well, let's not panic, but
Oh, no, I'm panicking. It's time to panic, Dale. It's panic time was 3 weeks ago before training camp started. Not the panic time was then. It is panic time right now.
here's our opening day starter. Hasn't pitched in the game. Let's go get an MRI.
In all seriousness, it's just there's something happening in camp with these guys. It just doesn't. There's no way that everybody's coming in injured and then they're getting injured at that point. It's just I don't understand it. It makes zero sense to me. They've known about it for a week, and instead of giving them a day off, they let them still go out there and pitch. It's spring training. Now's the time where you can give him some time off, Dale.
No, all they hear is Steve bitching and moaning about them not
Dear
working
God,
enough.
hey, Coach, when I threw that last ball, I felt something in the back there, but I'm going to throw another 10 pitches.
Hey, McCollum's bitching and moaning. Go ahead and keep pushing through it.
We wouldn't even know. The thing that's alarming to me is he said he's been knowing it. They've known about it and been dealing with it for a week now. That's what's alarming. And he shut down on Saturday because it felt worse. That's what's alarming. You weren't concerned about it a week ago, and you just let him keep going out there and throwing, and now he needs imaging? Did he make it worse? Could you have started treatment a week ago as opposed to this week? Like what? That's the things that alarm me about it. Guys are going to get hurt this time of year, and precaution 100% this time of year.
Let's see.
Did they have precaution, though? Did they do precaution in the last week?
Yes, they've been treating it.
But then it got worse.
They've been treating him with kid gloves.
But then it got worse. No imaging? That does scare me about the Diamondbacks. They are notorious. They did that with J-Mart. Kept sending him out there last year. Kept sending him out there. Then when they finally did imaging, oh, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, but you did imaging a month after the velocity was way down. Shouldn't you have done that first things first? I get it. Imaging costs
It's
money.
expensive,
Yeah,
Steve.
no, it's impossible. Still, what are we going to do? Keep Torrey for another year because injuries are going to be the reason why? That's going to be one of my bold
opening
predictions.
day starter.
This is going to be my prediction going into the season is Diamondbacks will miss the playoffs, but Torrey will be extended because they'll blame injuries for the reason why.
Wow.
Dale, like Rory and all the professional athletes today, go celebrate your extra money and not care about anything else out there. Shout out to, you brought him up earlier, John Holmberg as well, surgery on his eyes, if you didn't know that. They announced it on the Suns game last night and everything. So he's recovering from that here as well for him. So we're probably going to have Dale here on Thursday again. Programming note for this week, we're here all week, like normal, through Thursday. We are going to take Friday off because we're moving to a different studio location and set. So we have to be out of here by Saturday. So we're going to close up shop on Thursday after we get done with our programming, take Friday off, get everything set up at the new place on Friday, and be back on Monday as well. So Monday through Thursday this week. So Dale, you can have a free day of golf there for you on Friday.
I might go get an MRI.
You have to get in line behind all. You're like, why are all the Diamondbacks pitchers here in front of me?
Hey, Merrill, you got all season.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great Monday night. McCollum on Business coming up at 11. A pit stop, a look back show to Atlanta coming up later today as well, folks. About 2 o'clock, it'll be posted. We'll see you then, everybody. Have a great one.